Okay guys, so welcome to this really brief tutorial on how to submit your homework. Before we start with the tutorial, I just want to make clear that you should be trying to learn Git by your own. So I put 2 videos on the website. Make sure you go and check it out, those videos. It's about 20 minutes in videos because this tutorial assumes that you somehow know how to use the basics of Git. So before we start, let's take 1 minute to finish the development setup that we started on the previous tutorial. That was in how to install C++ development workflow in your machine. So for that, you're going to go into your GitLab account. So make sure you already have the account, and then we will add SSH keys to make our life easier. So basically on the GitLab server, we will have repositories, and you need access to these repositories if you want to work with the local machine. So you have basically 2 options. One is like every time you fetch information from the repository, provide your username and password, but this is super annoying. So what we are going to do is to add some keys that we will generate and put it on the server. And this way, with this particular machine, you can just access the repository without providing any more information. So first of all, you will go to the must-have tools, and then there is a small brief on SSH keys, but basically you will copy this command. You will open a terminal here, and here you will put your email, for example, modern_cpp@ipv_uni_bonn.de, and then you just hit enter 3 times, and then you already generated a key, and now you need to get this key and put it on the GitLab server. So basically you need to copy this command. So xclip, it's not probably installed on your system, so sudo apt install xclip. If it doesn't work, then just paste it, and then now on my clipboard I have the key. So that's step number 2. And then you will go to your profiles, settings, SSH keys, and then this is how it will look on your machine. Just Ctrl+B, and then this is the key to access the GitLab server from this particular machine. So that's basically it in terms of like how to access the GitLab servers from your computer. Okay, so now let's start with the tutorial. First, you need to log into the server, and then you will have to request access to the CPP 2020 group. Then you will go to the base homebrew repository, that is this CPP homeworks, and then you will fork this repository on your personal space. What does this means? It's basically that you will copy paste the entire information of this particular repository. That is basically, it's an empty repository with just some folders, and then you will own this repository. This means you can do whatever you want with this repository, but also you inherit by default all the configurations for the automatic homework checker. So let's click on the link, and then this is let's try to make this bigger. Okay, so this is the base repository. So if you see, it's on teaching CPP homeworks. So if you try to push to this repository, if you try to change this, it would fail because you don't have permissions. So that's why you want to fork. So you just hit fork here, and then you select your name here. Now this is basically copy pasting the entire repository into your own space. If you check now it's Modern C++ student and then CPP homeworks. And if you check the address of this page, it's different from before. So now you own this repository. It's different from the one you just forked, and then you can make changes here. So once you have done that, okay, so here's basically what we say. The last step you need to do is basically in order to enable this homework checker, you need to go to settings, members, select members to invite, and then pick the homework bot and give him access with developer rights. This is because this bot will access your repository and check the homework for you and update a wiki showing the results. So let's do this. It's quite simple. You just go here on this tab, you go to settings, and then you go to members, Remember, this is your repository, so this you can do whatever you want. Just type here homework bot, just click, and then remember to do developer access, right? And then invite. From the setup perspective, that's all you need to do. Basically, first you set up the SSH keys to access your repositories without hassle, and then you fork the CPP Homeworks repository, and then you give access to the homework bot, right? And then let's try to make an example here. So how you start working, the first thing you do, you will clone using SSH because that's the keys you are using. And then let's open a terminal here. And then now you just do git clone, and then you paste the address that you just copy from the web page, right? This will basically download the whole information from CPP Homeworks repository and put it on this folder that is called CPP Homeworks. CPP Homeworks, right? So this is your first clean environment. So if you just run tree, there is a command. This is all the files you have here. It's basically nothing. It's empty. So the first thing you will do is you will go to homework number 1, and then now you need the files that we provided you on the website. For that, you can do IPv, C++ 2020, Bonn, I don't know. And this is our web page. You will go to Homeworks, and then you will download this file. And then you save this file. It's gonna be in downloads unless you change something. So now nothing is here. Let's copy this file, homework1.zip, and then you just copy this file on this directory. Now it's here, and then you do unzip, and then homework1.zip. That's all you need to do for now. I will just remove this zip just in case, and this is how it looks now. So if you hit tree now, you have like some examples here. So on task 1, here you need to provide commands.sh folder, a script with all the like solving the task. Just to make it like to show you how it would look, I will just copy one of the solutions. So not here, homeworks, homework 1, task 1, and then commands.sh. So for now, this is all you need. And actually, if you go to your root directory, that is CPP Homework, and now you do git status, you will see that there are 2 new folders. So you just will do git add, and then you can just select this and copy on the terminal, and then you will add this to the staging part of the git of the repository. Now if you do git status, you have all this stuff, and then you just will do git commit, right? The thing is, probably at this point it will complain. Basically you will need to provide these 2 configurations. So in my case, let me check. Yeah, you will need to use the same email address you use for logging into the IGG GitLab account. So in my case, it's gonna be Ignacio. It's this guy. And then also you need to provide your username. In my case will be modern C++ student, right? And now you can actually commit these changes. So let's add a message to this commit, and in this case will be upload task 1 for homework 1, something like this, right? And then if you do git status right now, you will see that your branch is ahead of the origin, that is basically the Git repository in the GitLab server. And then you need to git push, and this will basically copy the contents of your repository to the upstream, that is the IGG server. I'm sorry I don't really explain you the details of Git, but I trust you can learn it by yourself. Now if I go to my CPP Homeworks repository, so make sure that Now you will see two repositories. One is the one for teaching, and this is your repository, so this is the one you own. And if you see more C++ student, just committed this thing. And now the pipeline is running, so you need to, if you want to check here, now this already passed. And now you will need to wait, like, let's say 2 or 3 minutes until the bot. So now there is a background process that is checking your homework, and then it will update here on your repository on the wiki with the results. Hopefully this works, otherwise my solution is wrong. In the meantime, let's do another thing that is, okay, let's git add and then add the homework number 2 with the solution. So homework number 2, task 2. Do I have solutions here? No. Okay, this is not the solution. That's good. Because I didn't copy the solution. Okay, so this is the files I provided to you without any solution. So one thing you can do is copy your solutions. So actually the only files you will need here, in my case, are here, and then homework 1, task 2, and then build.sh. So you need to provide this build script right here, that basically this will build this project. The only thing is, like, make sure that you run these commands. I will do this so you don't see the output with the commands, and then basically make sure you know that it is working. Right now, if you check the tree, I have this binary file that is the one I just created. So you can go to results, bin directory. So this is the example output I gave to you. So there is a warning, this is a demo version, and then this is the one that we just built with this command, right? So, and if you do git status now, the only missing file that you need to add is this script. So you just git add dot, and then you will, if you do git status, then everything is here. This is the first part of the exercise. And now I need to copy this CMake list file again on this repository, and in my case I also have one here. Okay, so if you do git status right now, you have new files, just add these files. Now everything is ready to commit, then you just git commit, and then homework submit homework task 2 for homework 1, right? And then you can actually git push. But before we push, let's go and check the results of the first exercise. So let's see if this is working. If apparently it's working. So this is the first results. So I gave you 4 exercises. It's like 1 point for each one. And then for now, the total points I have for the whole course is basically 4. And now let's git push this with the solution for the second exercise on the first homework. And now the whole pipeline is running. The only thing is just make sure that everything is working. So for example, if you are working on this CMake, just go do the steps manually here before you submit the homework. Now you do CMake here, and then you check that your CMake list is working, and then you make, and then you check the results on all this stuff, like make install as well. So make sure that everything is working locally before you submit the homeworks. Otherwise you will struggle, like, between going to check if the bot is working or not, or if the wiki is not working. So that's basically it. I went a bit fast because there's not too much to talk about this. The only thing is, like, make sure that this file is called build.sh without any typo, because I'm checking for that file. The same for CMake list. And then on the results directory, I will be checking for this particular binary. So make sure you use this name. So test_IPV arithmetic, and on the library, use this name for your library, libipv arithmetic, right? So let's see if the results for task number 2 are ready, and yes, actually it's really fast. And then the second task is the build system. So I will check that you can build the program, also that the library is there. And then also I will check for CMake, that you can install your library with the prefix that I'm telling you to use, and also that the CMake thing is working. So that's basically it. So make sure you start working on your homeworks. Make sure that everything is working locally before you start submitting homeworks. And if you struggle a lot with Git and you're like more than 5 people, then we can discuss on making a small tutorial on Git. But it's quite easy, so I'm guessing that you will figure out how it will work. Okay, thank you for your attention. I looking forward to see your submissions, and remember that I will be doing code reviews to give you more points for your homeworks, because this is just to make, so these results are just to give you a feedback of if the programs are working or not, but I also want to check your code style and give you positive feedback about your homeworks. Okay, that's basically it. Thank you.